Howdy folks, AJ coming at you again, your resident vintage gamer, and today is another bit of gaming news for this video. The trailer for, and this isn't a teaser trailer, this is the actual first official trailer for Thief 4, and there's a question as to whether or not they're going to call it Thief 4. I've read some places where they're just going to call it Thief again. It's going to be kind of a reboot, kind of like what they did with SimCity. They didn't call it SimCity 5 or whatever. They just called it SimCity and redid it, you know. So it may be Thief 4, it may be Thief, but whatever it is, the trailer looks awesome. And I'm a big fan of the franchise. When I first rolled my very first character in Dungeons & Dragons, it was a thief. When I found out that I could be the guy who is sneaking around, hiding in shadows, picking locks, disabling traps, placing traps, picking pockets, all that kind of, you know, cloak and dagger stuff, I was like, that's it, I'm in. You know, I don't need to be a warrior. I don't need to be in the finger waggling, you know, wizards and all that. None of that. No. Give me a cloak. Give me a couple of daggers, you know, all in black. And I'll rock, you know. And in this game, in the franchise Thief, that's what you play, a guy named Garrett, and that's what you get to do. And it's spectacular. And when the first one came out, there was a lot of people, naysayers, who said there is no way that you're going to produce and develop and put out a game where the primary objective in the game is to avoid combat. Everybody said it's going to fail because everybody think everybody wants to just, you know, hack and slash, and that was the belief, with the exception of these people who went ahead and made the game anyway and said, no, we think there's people out there that want to, as a challenge, try and be the guy that gets in and steals the jewels and steals the crowns and the gold and all that stuff, and tries not to get detected as a challenge. And it turned out they were right, because Thief was a very popular game. Thief 2, if I remember correctly, did even better than the first. Thief Deadly Shadows, which was the third one, I don't think did as well as the first two. I could be wrong there. Maybe it might have done a little bit better. The problem with the third one was, at least for me, was they did away with the rope arrows in the third one. In the first two, you had what were called rope arrows, where, you know, there was rope attached to an arrow where you could, anywhere there was wood, you could fire the arrow up, and then you could use that rope to climb up to get away from a guard that was coming towards you, or to get up just out of sight, whatever the case was, or to get up to another area that there's no other way to get to without using a rope arrow. It was a really cool feature. And in the third one, they didn't have rope arrows. So I missed them. So anyway, there's no word on whether or not they're going to be back in this new one, or what the features are going to be in the new one, but the trailer sure does look good. So I will put a link in the description here for you. If you have not seen the trailer and you wish to do so, you can do that. So, and then that led me, of course, this morning, once I saw that I wanted to go into my archives and see if I could find any Thief-related stuff from the first, you know, from the franchise. And I didn't find much. I found a couple of the, you know, original manuals and that kind of stuff. But I did find one of these. You don't see these anymore. They're a little keyboard helper that you would set, you know, by your, you know, in front of your keyboard there, so you can help you tell you what keys are what. And because we don't buy stuff in a box anymore, everything's digital download for the most part and everything else, you don't see this kind of stuff anymore. So I just thought that was kind of a neat little thing to see again, because I guess now we've managed to, with muscle memory and everything, figure out, you know, we can do all the keys, and basically we can map them just about the same for most games, you know, and we don't really need something like that anymore like we used to. Who knows? And of course, it's a budgetary thing. They don't want to produce these kinds of things, manuals and any kind of additional printing costs that would be involved. They don't want to have to do that if they don't want to. So, but when I was doing that, when I was looking for that today, I went through all my archives, and there's another. I took a video of me actually in the middle of that because I ended up having to go through all my archives because I found some stuff that was out of place and out of order and not organized, and it's just when you have an OCD collector, borderline idiot like me, who, when you find stuff like that, then all of a sudden it becomes, you know, this mission of, oh, now we got to pull everything out and we got to reorganize everything, you know. And that's what it became. And I actually took video of the mayhem, and I'll probably load that up at some point. But regardless, it consumed most of my morning today. But I did find another neat little item that I had completely forgotten about, and it's unrelated to the thief thing. There's some of you out there, I'm sure, that will remember this. But I think I got this at E3 one year that I went. And this is, there's a little brochure here for a game called The Realm. Let's see if I can get, there we go. And apparently it was from Sierra, and it was going to be an online, you know, like an MMO type of a game. And it's got a color picture, you know, there of what it was going to look like and everything. And if you notice, there's even a code right there. There's a login and a password for a free trial. And apparently I did some research, and apparently the game was never produced by Sierra. They shit-canned the idea or whatever. And but apparently some other, you know, somebody else, you know, bought the idea or whatever and ended up producing it, and now it's produced by some company called Norseman Games, I believe it is, and it's actually still going. So I was completely surprised to find out it's actually called The Realm Online now in its current form. But regardless, it's still going apparently. And I went to the website, and you can sign up, and it's still, there's a fee to pay every month. It's not very much, but I just thought that was kind of neat. I forgotten I even had this, and the fact that I even have this little, you know, I think they handed these out at E3 is what it was. So anyway, that was another neat little item that I stumbled upon today. That might bring back some memories for some of you older gamers. And then finally today, the hat. I figured it was as you've probably figured out, I don't know how many hats. I've got lots and lots and lots of them. And I try to wear a different one for each one of my videos. And so today, because we were talking about this game Thief and the fact that they've been very secretive about releasing any details and so forth, I thought it was appropriate to wear my SSS hat. And this comes from when I was in the security industry, and I was a security manager, but there was, you know, a couple levels of people, of course, above me, and there were times where all of a sudden they would have all these behind-door meetings, and everything was hush-hush and everything. So my boss thought it would be funny if we got some of these hats made up, and so when they would do that, and they'd all go into these secretive meetings and everything, they'd be in there for long periods of time, and everything was hush-hush. What we did is we'd already bought these hats, so we all in the office decided we'd put these on, so when they came out, we'd all be wearing these hats. We wouldn't say anything. And you can guess what the SSS stands for. Super secret shit. That's what we got them. That's why we got these made. And it was an inside joke amongst all of us. Anytime they'd have all those crazy secretive meetings going on, we'd all put our hats on, and we'd just go about our business and do our thing. And they'd come out and see the hats, and they'd say, "What the heck? Why is it? What are all these hats everybody's wearing?" And we'd say, "Oh, you know, it's just, you know, it was just something we decided to do, you know, kind of a camaraderie thing, you know." And I think we had another acronym we used, you know, not the real one, but some other thing we came up with that, you know, but to all of us, it meant super secret shit. And that's how we knew. So if you came into the office for your shift or whatever, you came in and everybody had their hats, their SSS hats on, you knew there was some super secret shit going on. So anyway, that's the story behind the hat. We will catch you guys on the flip side.